two daughters. When I saw how he'd fallen to the ground, I remembered first having the name of pauper. To fall is to lose everything. But he got up again, still bleeding, and I could hear the cart going on down the road, although I couldn't see it because the hedge was too high. All the women ran to him. "Go and get help, Ellen," she said to me. But he died the next morning. We lived in one room in a cottage called Bodfell, and a chimney let in the rain. But I had my girls for company. People walked by all day to fetch their water, and we were lucky to have the well nearby. But there was never enough money for the nice clothes my girls wanted. This big new house I visit at night, invisibly, is the home we deserved. The woman who owns it has a man's name, Sydney. She has two daughters like me, but they're dressed in silk, and their money comes from
Liverpool, West Derby.
Liverpool, West Derby. When I was in the city, I didn't notice the noise, but sometimes I woke up at Place Bodfell with the fear that I'd lost my hearing. So quiet. The quietness began on the ferry as we came within sight of the bridge over the strait, and even the waves hushed. The water was quiet, and there was the car waiting for us. At the house, I climbed the circular steps, and as I walked across the sunburst at the entrance, everything dropped away. Then the grandchildren ran shouting to their rooms to see forgotten shells and dolls. They were jealous of my mornings at Sunday school, but if the village children had understood what we had, it would have been wrong. "Oh, William, you were too much for this place. My mother said so when we married. And the world we brought back was unwelcome to some. But I loved the quietness. That's why I linger here after death, to watch the old people living in my house, which has sprawled into corridors of extra bedrooms. It smells of disinfectant now. I watch the cook's son, who likes to make cakes. Soon he'll be too old to be dressed up in a cap and apron by his mum. The nurse in charge wears her upside-down watch on her uniform like a badge and a burden, keeping time for meals and pills, sleeping and waking. One old lady clasps a crocheted blanket made by one of her daughters. She can't speak now, but if she could, she'd tell her girls how talented, how precious they are. The old lady slips away, but she returns to see. My old nursing home, after all those years of work, of making do and saving. All the money I had went to pay for me to stay here. They said it had been built in the 1920s, but it used to be a restaurant. My friend was in the home too, always laughing at something. The parties were the best times, when our families came. Sometimes there was a singer, and once the mayor, who never sat down. The place is different now. How it's changed. There is machinery and shelving everywhere, and typewriters on the dining room table. Spools and spools of colour, blue and red, like the blanket my daughter made for me in my favourite colours. Where is that now? Everything gets thrown away in the end. But my daughters are still alive, and they remember.
Everything gets thrown away at the end of lockdown. Everything gets thrown away at the end. Everything gets thrown away at the end.